I battle an incurable disease every day. It empowers me to help people like you tap into your full potential.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's a burn.
I want everyone to have the tools and the right mindset to be the best version of themselves. Nutrition, exercise, inspirational stories to motivate and educate you. I'm Peter Nielsen, and I'm your personal life coach.
Hey everybody, it's Peter Nielsen and welcome to my life coaching show. During the show, I'm going to show you how water could work for you, not against you, in ways you may never have experienced. Also, there's a big controversy on, is coconut oil healthy for you? We'll go through the facts. Let's get started right now.
I started gaining 100 pounds a year for 3 years. I don't really know. It wasn't just my diet. I don't really know everything that happened. You go through depression, that's very real, and physical pain, my joints, my knees. I do feel limited. I cannot get on the average machine at a gym or anything like that. It's very limited things that I would be able to use there. So the water is the answer. It makes everything easier.
I always say that fitness needs to be plain, simple, and fun. And being in the water is one of the most symmetrical exercises on the planet. And I want to make a point, there are no excuses to be the best version of yourself, regardless of your weight. And I have some great friends. I have Anitra here, and I have Joe, and I want to give them a lesson. I want to explain to you as well as them that you could be 100, 200 pounds overweight. And when you get in the water, you're going to feel free again. Are you guys ready for a workout?
Yes!
Let's do it.
The first thing I'm going to have Anitra and Joe do is simply walk in the water. See, walking in the water burns twice as many calories than walking on land. Anitra has already incorporated the pool into her wellness plan. But this is Joe's first time ever in the water since he's been 12 years old.
It's already took the pressure off my knees.
How do you feel?
Wonderful. You don't pick it up overnight. You don't lose it overnight. I was, like you said, I was weighing over 700 pounds. I'm down to 450 now. So it took me maybe about 3 years to come down slowly but surely. It feels good.
It does feel good.
I mean, I'm moving my legs with basically no effort.
That's right, no effort. When I'm in the water walking, I feel like I could do anything because there's no limitations. I don't feel the pain in my knee, I don't feel the pain in my back, and I'm able to move and do, and I know I'm getting something accomplished.
I always say if you put creativity and intensity into your next workout, amazing things will happen. This is styrofoam. It costs a few dollars, weighs a few ounces, but once you put it in the water, it gives resistance to your muscles. I'm working my triceps right now by doing a close grip tricep push down. Now I'm working my shoulders, my deltoids. The resistance of the water is tremendous. You want to do 3 sets of 10 repetitions. You can also work your chest. A full body workout is really what you can be doing in the water besides walking. I'm going to get Anitra and Joe to try this right now. I never felt that I was morbidly obese. I just felt that I was a big fella and I needed to lose weight. And it was possible. You can do it. Peter was one of the tools that I needed to lose weight. He motivated me to get me where I am now.
The pool water aerobics are amazing. It's as if I don't have all this weight on me. So that's wonderful.
Another great idea for a water workout is actually find one of your kids' bats or buy one. It costs a few dollars. Once you get it in the water, you're working your abdominal muscles. This is how you do it. Watch this, guys. It's your turn.
Exercise is the key to the whole thing. Between exercise and Jesus, you got it made.
I know sometimes we feel hopeless because we're looking at the situation and you can't see past it sometimes. But it's always a way. As long as you can breathe, you can do something.
Joe and Anitra did a great job in the pool. And they also realized that walking in waist-high water took 50% of the weight off of their joints. Walking in chest-high water, 90% of their weight is coming off. And it's all because they know if they put in the sweat equity and work and make small lifestyle changes, they can make anything happen. It's no secret that yoga has many amazing health benefits. But have you ever considered doing stand-up paddleboard yoga? It's definitely the thing.
So paddleboard yoga is more recreational than what you would have in your average studio. You can take your yoga practice pretty much anywhere. All we're really looking for is to find an environment that creates that calm, that easy feeling about yourself, and something that you feel very comfortable in. So it was really natural for me to take it out onto the paddleboard because once I got into water, I'm always very calm and relaxed. And you can pretty much do everything you do on your yoga mat on your board.
You'll practice being more meticulous with your movements, since there's a high risk of falling in the water.
So you really don't have to have experience to practice yoga on a paddleboard. What we're looking for is mindfulness. So you really have to concentrate and focus when you're on your board, and that's what our practice is all about. And once you have that concentration and focus, that's where the magic happens. You're really engaging more of your core because it requires a lot more balance. So you're finding your center, and then from there is where the poses start to blossom out. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Fingertips touch the board. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, high plank. Hug your elbows to your sides, come forward on your toes. Exhale, lower. Inhale, roll forward. This is up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog.
And it forces you to slow down, which is great to practice so you can apply it to the rest of your day when you feel rushed, either at work or home.
Really, the only times I have fallen in, to be honest, is when I'm trying some crazy pose and I just want to see what happens. But for the most part, people come off the board and they're just like, oh my gosh, that was so fun. They feel empowered.
One of the best parts of stand-up paddleboard yoga is that you get to experience the outdoors. Spending time in nature has been shown to improve your overall mental health, and it relieves stress.
Shavasana on the board is magical. So you lie down on the board, you close your eyes, and you just are in tune with nature. You're hearing the sounds of nature. Your breathing rhythm slows down. I like to put my hands in the water and just feel the water run along my fingers and just take that moment for myself, nice and quiet.
Overall, stand-up paddleboard yoga is a great exercise that allows you to hone in on what yoga is really all about. To be calmly active while at the same time being actively calm.
Modern medicine is great, and here in the Western civilization, we know our medication. But on the other side of the world, and centuries ago, specifically Eastern civilization, they really learned how to use herbs for medicine. One specifically, oregano, and the benefits are endless. Oregano has been used for centuries to treat a number of ailments, such as skin conditions, infections, and even respiratory problems. This is because oregano is packed with antioxidants, specifically polyphenols. Polyphenols are particularly good at reducing the effect of free radicals in your body, making oregano antibacterial and anti-inflammatory. And remember, there's 3 different forms that you could get your oregano, and you could get it fresh, you could get it dried, or the most concentrated version is actually your essential oils. If you have a cold, allergies, or a cough, try using a steam inhalation method to help relieve respiratory symptoms. For skin issues like eczema, acne, or fungus, there are topical ways to use oregano oil to help them heal. You can even add fresh or dried oregano to many different dishes when cooking for an overall healthy dose of antioxidants in your diet. The coconut, it is so versatile. Some people call it a seed, some people call it a nut, some people call it a fruit. And it's even broader on how you consume it and the health benefits. Nowadays, there's a lot of controversy when it comes to coconut. I want to go through the pros and cons, and let's first start with coconut water. Coconut water comes from young green coconuts and is controversial-free when it comes to the health benefits. This water is high in potassium and is great for electrolyte replenishment. It's a fantastic replacement for sugary sport drinks. When I think about coconut water, one of the things that to me is the most amazing benefit is that it actually can be used in an emergency situation for an alternative to blood plasma transfusions, believe it or not. There's been stories in World War I and World War II where soldiers actually were given this until they got to hospitals and they stayed alive. Now, you much rather drink it, but what about coconut milk? Coconut milk is creamier and thicker than the water, but is still a high source of electrolytes. Although it has less sugar than coconut water, it is high in calories and fat. The word fat in this case refers to medium-chain triglycerides, which are actually a healthy fat and has been linked to weight loss and muscle building. MCTs have also been shown to lower inflammation associated with arthritis. And the next on our journey through coconuts is the infamous coconut oil. Coconut oil has increased in popularity in the last few years, but has battled between being super good or super bad. So which is it? To put it simply, coconut oil is great for you, but it is high in calories and saturated fat, and is best to be consumed in moderation. The long-term effect of coconut oil and heart disease still hasn't been determined, so before adding coconut oil to your daily diet, always check with your doctor.
There are over 8 million registered motorcycles in the U.S., and I'm one of them, making 1 out of every 36 people someone who rides a motorcycle. Riding a motorcycle, in my opinion, is an experience like no other, and it's great for your mental health. Cruising down an open road gives you a huge rush of adrenaline and endorphins. It allows you to clear your head and de-stress from the craziness of every day. When I have an hour or even a half an hour during a busy day, I get on my motorcycle and it feels like me and the road.
I love riding a motorcycle. It's almost like my glass of red wine. It's so relaxing, but it takes a toll on the body. I want to show you some great exercises that you could do anywhere so that you're going to strengthen your forearm, your shoulder, as well as your back. Let's get started right now. The first exercise that I want to show you is actually something you could do on and against your bike. Make sure that the engine is cooled off. And also, before I even get started, I love my hair, but I love my brains better. So make sure you wear a helmet. It's just so essential. A lot of states, including Michigan, you could drive without a helmet, but I would highly recommend wearing a helmet. Use your seat as the support, and we're going to work our forearms as well as our wrist. You just roll down, roll up. Understand that when you are, especially with high bars like this, you're using that clutch and the brake, and you're constantly using your wrist. You could get carpal tunnel. So you want to do 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Now, once you do 10 repetitions this way, turn it around. This is harder, and now you're coming up. Now you're working this part of the forearm, which you really use, especially on long trips. Rest for 60 seconds, then do the other side. 3 sets of 10 repetitions. The next thing that I want to show you is just front and side laterals. Knees slightly bent, 3 sets of 10. But when you are riding a bike for a long time, and I have high bars, your delts and your shoulders get fried. So you want to make sure that you don't come higher than, say, your nose, and you're doing both side and front laterals. 3 sets of 10. Now let's move over to your forearms. I want you to make this concoction, or you could buy one, but you could get a broomstick, put just a rope, tie it on, get yourself, say, a 2 or a 5 pound weight. And what you're doing is your arms are fully extended and you're bringing it up. Again, what are you doing? You're working your forearms, you're working your shoulders as well as your wrist. And after you bring it up, you let it down slow. You do 3 sets of this. And this is going to be challenging, but you're going to enjoy your next ride, because there's nothing better than being injury-free. And lastly, you need to protect your lower back. When you're riding all day, if your back gets fried, it is just a disaster. A Superman stretch, you may have seen me do this over the years, but what you do is you get on all fours and you bring one of your legs, your opposite arm, and you hold it there. And the weight of your leg and your arm is literally putting resistance on your lumbar. Then what you do is you do the other side, and you do 10 repetitions of this. Try to do just 2 sets. 3 sets may be too much for a beginner. And the next day you may have a little lactic acid where you feel a little stiffness in your back and you could stretch, but this is a great lower back builder, specifically a lumbar area of your spine and the muscles surrounding it. If you have L4, L5 problems, this is a great way to condition everything around your spine. Listen, there are millions of people that ride motorcycles. Number one, we need to be courteous and make sure we know and respect each other while we're on the road. But most importantly, to enjoy something like this beautiful, majestic bike, you need to stay healthy, or nothing else matters. I always say when you're dealing with your abdominal muscles to dissect it into 3 different areas: belly button up, belly button down, and the waist. I want to show you 2 exercises in one. I have Michelle down here, and we're going to be working our upper and lower. She's using a dumbbell, and what we're going to do is her arms are going to come up and her legs are going to come up at the same time. Now she's working both her upper and her lower abs. You want to do as many as you can, 8 to 10 repetitions, rest 60 seconds. It's a great way to work from belly button up, belly button down. You can also use a barbell. I like the way it feels. I'm using a 20-pound barbell. You could use whatever weight that you're not going to cheat. Make sure that your head is being taken up by your body and you're not doing cervical curls. And as you're coming down, you feel the resistance and it's pulling your abdominal wall, so you're getting that flexion and extension, upper and lower, and it's a really great movement. If you want to save time, do 2 exercises together. The bottom line is you could work out until you're blue in the face, If you're not disciplined at the breakfast, lunch, and dinner table, you're never going to see your six-pack. Something to think about. I hope this show has truly motivated and educated each and every one of you to be a better version of yourself. The take-home message for me is quite simple. When you look at Anitra or Joe, they broke through their fear factor. They haven't been in water or a pool since the age of 12, and they're going on 50. See, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. It's right over the horizon. But many of us, we live in autopilot. We go around that same mountain 400 times. And when you think about this wonderful planet Earth, it's composed of over 70% water. Our muscles, 75% water. Our blood, 80% water. As they didn't get in the water for decades, don't allow fear or change to stop you. See, my goal is for you to live the life that you're supposed to live, that you truly want to, that you dreamt about when you were a child. All you need to do is believe again. Until next week, I'm Peter Nielsen, your personal life coach.